it's beyond time for Phil Spencer to go. Let's just be real here. Microsoft is closing down 4 studios. And not only are they closing down 4 studios, it comes with multiple games getting canceled. And basically people are caught up to the whole idea that Microsoft's changing plans and pivoting and all that kind of stuff is doing absolutely nothing for Xbox, right? All that stuff. All of Phil's plans have utterly failed completely. This is something that people are going to be talking about for a long time. How can you trust Xbox ever again after this point? Spare me the nonsense, because people are losing their jobs. They had already laid off 1,900 employees at Microsoft, and now they're closing down Bethesda's Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Games, Tango Gameworks. It killed off one of its best new franchises in years in the process. So we all knew Hi-Fi Rush was a big... I actually like Ghostwire Tokyo. Tango Gameworks was my surprise thing of the year last year, because Ghostwire Tokyo went to Game Pass. I was playing it. It's amazing. I bought Hi-Fi Rush. You thought, okay, well, they said it was a big hit and things like that. Nope. So they're shutting down 3 studios under ZeniMax. Microsoft is closing Arcane Austin, who did Redfall and Prey, Alpha Dog Games, and Tango Gameworks. Roundhouse Studios is being folded into ZeniMax Online Studios. Some members of Arcane Austin are being assigned to other studios. So obviously a year of devastating cuts in the gaming industry is getting even worse, with Microsoft shutting down multiple studios, heavily affecting the Bethesda software publishing wing of Xbox first-party group. So anyway, Roundhouse Studios is moving to become a part of ZeniMax Online Studios, the team that works on Elder Scrolls Online and is also developing a new IP. Some members of Austin are being reassigned to other ZeniMax studios, though it's not clear which studios or how many staff are being relocated at the time. So here's the email from Matt Booty, who didn't even know his studio's name, by the way. It's such a shit show. He says, today I'm sharing changes we are making to our Bethesda and ZeniMax teams. These changes are grounded in prioritizing high-impact titles and further investing in Bethesda's portfolio of blockbuster games and beloved worlds, which you have nurtured over many decades. To double down on these franchises and to invest to build new ones required us to look across the business to identify the opportunities that are best positioned for success. This reprioritization of titles and resources means a few teams will be realigned to others, and that some of our colleagues will be leaving us. So here's the changes going into effect. Arcane Austin, the studio will close, with some members of the team joining other studios to work on projects across Bethesda. They have a history of making impactful and innovative games, and it is a pedigree that everyone should be proud of. Redfall's previous update will be its last, and we end all development on the game. The game and its servers will remain online for players to enjoy, and we will provide make-good offers to players who purchase the Hero DLC. Alpha Dog Studios, the studio will close. We appreciate the team's creativity in bringing Doom to new players. Mighty Doom will be sunset on August 7th, and we will be turning off the ability for players to make any purchases in the game. Tango Gameworks will also close. We are thankful for their contributions to Bethesda and players around the world. Hi-Fi Rush will continue to be available for players on platforms it is today. Roadhouse Games, the team at Roadhouse, will be joining ZeniMax Online. With this consolidation of our Bethesda studio teams, so that we can invest more deeply in our portfolio of games and new IP. A small number of roles across Bethesda pushing the corporate teams will be eliminated. The changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skill of the talented blah blah blah. So anyway, a history of gaming culture absolutely obliterated. Arcane Austin, I'm checking this out off the Windows Central site. Jez Gordon wrote this up. He says Arcane Austin was many of teams of Bethesda Softworks being acquired alongside Arcane Lion back in 2010. The studio helped co-develop the original Dishonored, which was critically acclaimed, and both halves of Arcane Studios have helped carry on the legacy of immersive sims. That is a rare in big budget gaming. Arcane Austin went on to release Prey in 2017, as well as Redfall in 2023. Tango Gameworks was founded in 2014, and the studio developed The Evil Within and Evil Within 2. Second wave of layoffs. This comes as the second wave of layoffs, as earlier in the year, 1,900 people were let go across Activision, Blizzard, Xbox, and ZeniMax Media. So his analysis is, There aren't words to describe how idiotic, short-sighted, and downright grim the move is. Closing these teams signifies the death of creativity. It comes at a time when Microsoft has control of massive gaming franchises that are doing well. Fallout is seeing a huge resurgence on the back of the Prime TV series. So why are they seeing layoffs? It is a real problem. It's a real tough situation. Here's the thing, right? People were just telling me yesterday, oh man, Xbox is making so much money. They're making money hand over fist. They've got Activision now. They've got all this. They've got that. For what? What did it matter at the end of the day? Right? Activision, who gives a shit? They're closing studios. They're canceling games. Tango Gameworks had a brand new game, IP, RPG in production. Their only Japanese studio, gone. Hi-Fi Rush, Ghostwire Tokyo, Evil Within. Those are good games. And now, that studio's gone. No wonder Microsoft can't keep people working at their studios, right? Like, they buy these studios and then they gut them, and this is the same shit that's been going on for years. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Phil Spencer, what has this man done in 10 years at Xbox? Please, somebody tell me. Even as bad as the Xbox One was, it still was second place because the Wii U stunk up the joint. So please tell me, what the hell has Phil Spencer done to warrant keeping his job for 10 years? Can anybody come up with anything, right? And before you mention Game Pass, I would like to say that Game Pass is probably the reason that this is happening, right? Which was his idea. Okay, so he was like, okay, let's come up with Game Pass. Nobody buys games on Xbox anymore. It's unfortunate, but it's 100% true. People aren't buying games on Xbox. And so what happens? They put them in there day one. Game Pass didn't grow the way that they needed it to. So the only thing that I've seen that Phil Spencer's done is take away anything that made Xbox special. Exclusive games, they went to PC. Exclusive games, they went to PlayStation. What in the world were they thinking? And if you're Ninja Theory, right, you spent 6 years making Hellblade 2, and this is kind of a niche game. You've grown by 100 developers. You spent 6 years making this game. It looks to be a very kind of expensive game, and at the end of the day, what's going to happen to you? Right? Like, that's, I think, got to be the real thing. What's going to happen to Obsidian Machine? They're going to release Avowed. They already put their other 2 games that they've released on Xbox. They've put those games on PlayStation. Avowed, I mean, if these games aren't hitting their targets, they could be closed down. Machine Games with Indiana Jones, that's an expensive IP. What are we going to do? What are these companies going to do? Like, honestly, how are they ever going to make anything come from this? Like, how could you trust Microsoft at this point? They lie to everybody. They bullshit everybody. And for what reason? Why? This makes absolutely no sense. The wording of this is like, okay, well, we can't make, we can't trust these studios. Like, I'm baffled. But please don't trust Xbox anymore. God.